You can check. Okay, now you can check.
Let me see. I cannot share my slides. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
Perfect.
we are live now. Hello, everyone. This is me, Shahtaj Kashif, and I'm working as a brand manager in Ocean One Private Limited. Today, we are live with the representatives of Media Design University of Applied Sciences, Dr. Mario and Jimisha. Basically, Dr. Mario is the professor there of fashion management, and Jimisha is the country head of South Asia at MDH. Hello to both of you. How are you doing? And thank you so much to both of you for joining in.
Thank you very much indeed.
And in today's live session, we will be discussing about MDH University, the admission criteria of MDH University, the intake, the program, in short, all the insights of MDH University. So let's have a quick introduction first, and then we'll proceed with the live session. Over to you, Dr. Mario.
Yes, nice to meet you. Welcome, all of you. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much as well for your interest into our university, which is located in Germany. So I'm a professor, as you have introduced me already, of management, especially international management, and concerning much about fashion management as well, media management. So today I'm very happy to have the opportunity to introduce to you our University of Applied Sciences, as we are a media university. And yes, let's see whether I can convince all of you to study at our brilliant university in Germany. So, should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I will share my slides with you, okay?
Okay.
So first of all, I will give you only a very brief overview over our country, and then I will introduce our university to you, and I won't go through the whole PowerPoint presentation focusing on all details, but I will like to highlight some of the points that might be of a great interest to you. Okay, so let me share the slide. Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see this webpage?
Yes.
That is actually a summary compiled by the German Institute for the Southwest. As you can see here, this is a summary of a very comprehensive webpage, as you can see here. And that's what we maybe can later on join as a link. And this webpage is a very comprehensive one, telling you everything about Germany. So it's called Facts About Germany. And as you all can see, you can find different topics that might be of interest to you. Germany and Europe, of course, you can see here working in Germany, but more important, maybe the innovation, the school and university system, the research and innovation system. So if we take a short look here, you can see that research and innovation, that Germany, of course, is a nation of innovation. And maybe all of you might know the label Made in Germany, that indicates actually that at least in some leading fields, for example, mechanical engineering, but also electrical engineering, Germany is quite innovative, of course, when it comes to the automotive section as well. So, and this other link shows you or summarizes the main facts about Germany. So you can see actually that we are the biggest country in the European Union. We have a population of more than 80 million inhabitants. And of course, you can see here that we have our own history, of course, that we are quite doing quite well in the education system. We are just undergoing a profound process of renewal in the German education system. And of course, the system is already bearing fruits. Germany is one of the countries most preferred by foreign students. And that's what we will see later on. And of course, Germany has its own lifestyle, its own culture. We have a lot of nationalities now, also becoming Germans more and more. And of course, the German business, as I've told you, is quite famous and plays a role in the international arena. So some of the German companies, as you might know, maybe in the automotive section, but also in the pharmaceutical section, they are quite famous, and they have actually a quite good and quite excellent reputation. So that's what I can tell you about Germany. So we are a country, federal union, that means consisting of 16 states and consisting, as I have said, of a lot of nationalities. So that makes life in Germany actually very colorful. And let me now start maybe with the interesting part and tell you something about our university in this country, Germany. So let me share it again. Can you all see the slides now?
Yes.
Yes. That's our MDH, University of Applied Sciences. We are Media University, actually at the cross point business, media, and design. And let me tell you, why should you come? Why do we welcome all of you in Germany? Why should you come to our capital, to Berlin? Why in particular, should you be part and student of our university? Then, of course, I would like to tell you something about the program portfolio, the accreditation, and the pricing and payment plan, as this is very important to you. Also, the entry requirements and documents, the visa process, and to give you an overall overview about studying and living in Germany. So you will get actually, after you have applied successfully, an 18 months visa grant for job search upon graduation. That means after you successfully got your degree and finished your degree, you will get an 18-month visa grant actually. So then you are studying in a country, as I've said, that is actually has a very strong economy, which is Europe's number 3 in the world. And of course, what is very important as well, we have a very sufficient and a very good healthcare system. So that means life expenses among the EU capitals is also reasonable, including those fees for healthcare, insurance, and a very actually sufficient medical coverage. So concerning the higher education, Germany actually ranks first. That's actually referring to the country ranking 2020, followed then by the United Kingdom, Canada, and so on. So we have actually, and that might be of interest, you won't be lonely then, we have more than 350,000 international students that started their programs in 21-22 academic year, and boasts the highest employment rate actually for universities graduates in Europe. So it's also actually good perspective after you have finished your degree. So let us take a look actually at the most popular student city, Berlin, our capital. that ranked 6th in the 30 best student cities 2 years ago in 2022. And also is facing a very low cost of living and active student culture, which is also very important, calling it the soft location factors or parameters. Actually, if you study in a city, you might be interested in this, in the student culture life as well. Then, of course, when it comes to culture, language always ranks first. And let me tell you that English is actually a very widely spoken language in Berlin. Most students are able to find part-time and full-time jobs easily. So we will actually proactively support you in finding a part-time and full-time job to actually cover your fees actually. And that's what you can see here. The expenses in total might be in between 1,000 euro per month and 2,000 euro per month. And you can see here that actually the highest or the biggest share comes from the rent fees actually, then food, transportation within Berlin. You have to pay 50 euros, 45 euros, and then you can travel around Berlin and even further in the suburban area. Then, of course, 100 euro roundabout for health insurance, travel, and books. So we are, as the Media University of Applied Sciences, actually we are a private university, but we are fully state recognized. That means we cover all those majors that I would like to introduce to you, starting actually with game design. This is actually our more or less oldest degree we offer traditionally, and we rank first actually because 35 years ago we were the first university that offered game design in an academic way. But we are also a pioneer of future-oriented, innovative majors, best skilled, for example, digital film design, but also media design and media management. And as you might know, Germany is, among other parameters and perspectives, very famous for its vocational education system. And that means we would like only to have professors and qualified personnel that have worked outside of the university in German businesses. And of course, we would like them to share their long-term and long-time experiences outside of the university in different businesses inside of our university. And that's something our students can really face or can see a very high added value sharing those experiences outside of the university. And of course, we have very high employability, more than 6,000 famous international industrial partners that our network consists of. Yes, the accreditation, you can see here some of those institutions that are responsible for our accreditation. That is always given for 5 years then, and we have just received our next 5 years or up to 7 years even. And why should you study at MDH? I think you have a good surrounding then, because this is the student nationality statistics. You can see here that the non-EU students are around about 11%, but of course increasingly. Then let me share some impressions of our campus actually that you can see here. We have 3 campuses actually. The main campus is in Berlin, which is in the eastern part of Germany. Then in the western part, we have a second campus, Düsseldorf, and in South Germany, our third campus, Munich. And you can see here all those programs and the degrees that we offer, mainly as bachelor degrees, as you can see here, Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, for example, game design. And all of those bachelor years, of course, 3.5 to 7 semesters accordingly, and then masters as you can see here, digital leadership, design, and design management and digital leadership. Then 4 semesters, so 2 years. And you can see here the English level requirements, for example, the scholarships actually, and the price after the scholarships, and the total price that you have to calculate actually. So the applicants will be eligible for full refund under the following circumstances. And that's what you can see here. Visa refusal, the applicant must submit the proof of visa rejection within 30 days of receiving the official documentation from the embassy. Those are, so to say, the conditions actually. And you can see here actually the application process. So first of all, there's a submit application required, and then further on in the process, you will be interviewed then in form of short interviews between 15 to 20 minutes. And the objective to understand your motivation actually, and preparedness actually. And then after you pass the interviews, you can sign the study contract actually. And then in the end, actually, the enrollment letter is issued upon receiving the deposit and the study contract. Just would like to ask, Misha, I think we will share all those slides with the interested students, right?
Yes.
Am I
Yes,
right?
Mario, we'll be sharing the content.
Okay,
And,
so
with
that's
Ocean One team, and they will take it up to the students.
okay. So I won't go into details. So only highlight some of the issues that might be of interest. Here, our expertise. So we have this Bachelor of Digital Film Design. What you can see here, the language proficiency might be the B, or is the B2 level actually. And you should actually, as an applied application requirement, present your own portfolio in any forms, photograph or digitalized, manual drawings, and be sure that we will always discover actually hidden talents in you. And I'm totally sure all of you are hidden talents at least. So you can see here the curriculum actually of digital film design. I don't want to go into the details, but you can see here that we have 7 semesters, as we have said, and this is actually then the curriculum consisting of all those modules, for example, design, but filmmaking and staging, also animation is a very important module actually if you go through the Bachelor of Digital Film Design. Then, of course, our networks. We have a great, as I've mentioned, a great network, a career network. And within or during your degree, we can also connect you to one of our partners. Possible profession after your graduation in digital film design, maybe a 3D generalist, a 3D animator, a coordinator, and an FX artist, for example. And you can see here on average, the annual salary of 43,000 euro. Then game design, as you can see here as well. I can show you the curriculum, and you can see here advanced game engineering is very important. And in the beginning, an art principle module, but then also general studies in the further process of game design. And you can see here typical jobs as a game designer, level designer, but also, of course, as a concept artist, technical artist as well, game producer, can also be a product manager. And here you can see already that the issue of management always plays an increasingly role actually in all of our degrees. Media design as well. The best of media design, it's MDH household name actually. Most unique study programs contents fill your curiosity today and lead to open the door with no boundaries actually for tomorrow. at the surface actually business, media, and design. Here the curriculum, as you can see. Typical jobs: associated creative director, of course, motion designer, photographer, and printmaker, and then also, of course, UI and UX designer and web designer. So here you can see the average actually annual salary of 41,000 euro and a lot of network partners again. Media management, also very interesting. Here you can see the focus on management, how to manage all those increasingly important media formats, and of course, the issue of artificial intelligence will play a great role in media design as well, as you can imagine. So the curriculum here as well. Typical jobs might be digital business consultant or an innovation manager, and here a little bit higher salary on average, 44,000 euros. Fashion management as well, curriculum here. Typical jobs of fashion management after you've graduated successfully would be a marketing manager. Marketing plays a crucial role actually in fashion management, but of course sales as well, and you will be sure, or we will make sure that you will get an introduction actually how to manage marketing issues and sales issues, and how to increase and integrate both of those issues actually in fashion management. Yeah, design management, also very important. Human-centered brands and marketing, agile, user-centric thinking, strategic innovations, and so on. Design thinking, of course, plays a great role. And typical jobs might be then afterwards design management, product manager, design consultant as well, but also innovation manager. Digital leadership, very important, as you learn a lot of issues concerning management in all those degrees we offer, but then it makes really the difference to teach something about this. Leadership goes far beyond on management. It includes management, but it goes far beyond, and especially when it comes to the digital transformation process globally, but of course also then in Germany, in Pakistan as well, I'm totally sure, then it's more and more important that you have digital leaders, that you take digital leadership very seriously and implement it into a company. So typical jobs might then be a project leader, but also a change manager, a digital transformation manager, and a senior marketing manager. Yes, so as we can say that we regularly win game awards and different awards, that we have really strong relationship then with former students called alumni, and regularly we can see then afterwards, after they have studied at our university, that they will awards, that they will be get prizes actually, and will be awarded then, and that gives us a very strong feedback actually that we are on the right way, that we teach in a very professional way and sufficient way. And this has also something to do not only with all those degrees we offer, which are very up to date, which are very future oriented, but it is also something to do with our really sufficient care rate, as we have actually in total 1,000 students, 300 students at each location, as I've told you, Berlin, Düsseldorf, and Munich. And then you can imagine that we have really a really high care rate. That means one professor can really take care on average about 15 or 20 students in a module, which is really a really good care rate. Yes, here you can see some of the achievements, key achievements, some former students, some alumni, and that's very important then, not only to keep in touch with former students, but also with the overall and entire network. And of course, those alumni will be sufficient and important part of the overall networks. Yes, here you can see some of the students, and maybe you can read something if you are interested about their personalities and about their career paths here as well. Then, of course, we always will have counselors, and we are famous also then and sufficient for career counseling service. So we will give you tips and tricks if you would like to enter then after your degree into the business world. We can match, we have a great opportunity also of job matching then. If you are already an employer yourself and looking for the right professionals, then of course we will help within this entire job matching process. Yes, and then of course also avail up to 33% of scholarship, higher scholarships for deserving candidates, and you can also apply for a scholarship then actually at our university. So that's the end actually now of my presentation. Hope you got some important and some future-oriented information. Here's our contact data that you can find. So social media, you will find us. Can contact us via email. You can also give us a call. Welcome, which way ever you prefer actually to contact us. Feel free to contact us, and I would like to answer some questions if there are any questions. And thank you once again very much indeed for your interest and for joining us.
Thank you, Mario. I just have to highlight a couple of things, Shadab, if it's okay for you. So it's about the scholarship which Mario mentioned, right? It's 33%. So this is something that we have recently introduced. So students who apply through Ocean One, number one, they get a 20% scholarship. So it's an exclusive scholarship that we're running for our approved representatives. That is you. And secondly, 33% is for students who specifically perform well in the interview, which is a mandatory part of the application process, where we try to assess the student's motivation. So if you are someone who's able to articulate well what is in your mind, the purpose of your study, and if you show that enthusiasm to the interviewer and they have the prerogative to recommend your name for a higher scholarship, and thereby you get 33% scholarship. Right, so that's 2 points about the scholarship. And another thing is, since we are a design school, we are a 35-year-old school, in fact, and we believe in imparting the knowledge to the students. So we have removed the portfolio requirement for many of our courses, where we believe that we should be the one to be teaching them. And it's also understandable, right? These are high school grads. We don't expect them to come with the full knowledge about the tools and the softwares and the techniques. So what we do is, the onus is on us, except for 2 programs, that is the digital film design and media design, where we expect the student to submit some sort of portfolio. And the requirements is the portfolio format. If you want, we can share it with you and you can take it to the student. But it's some sort of digital format. You can either share some videos that you've done in the past, some other posters, artwork, photography, anything, or short films that you've done. Right, so that could be counted for the portfolio, and it's only mandatory for digital film and media design, 2 programs. And the other program, game design, doesn't require a portfolio, but at the same time, it has 2 routes, where one is a visual and arts route, where you work on the visualization, the graphics, and the effects. And the second is the IT route, which is a very exciting program, in fact, to talk about. Berlin is a hotspot for these tech companies, and there's huge demand for IT professionals, especially in the game development sector too. So I think these are some things that I think needed some special mention. And thank you, Mario, for covering the whole thing. I think you gave a very elaborate idea about the program, the requirements, the fees, and everything. Once again, thank you, and over to you, Shadab.
Okay, so I would like to ask a few questions. The very first is that what are the admission requirements for graduates and for the bachelor's and for masters?
Yeah, so about the application requirements, see, we require someone wants to apply for a bachelor's, we obviously expect them to come with a high school certificate. And we want the student to typically have 55% and above. And the score actually applies to both applicants of UG as well as PG programs in their high school and their UG. They should be having 55% and above. So that's the minimum requirement in terms of academics. And if you are talking about the English language requirement, we expect the student to come with B2 level proficiency, which starts at 5.5 in IELTS or equivalent other recognized tests, test scores, TOEFL, Cambridge, Duolingo, PTE, all of these are accepted. So I think it's a simple conversion, right? You can just look at the IELTS to PTE or IELTS TOEFL on Google or IELTS website. You can identify what are the scores that will be. So these are the primary requirements. And for those two special programs that I told you about, portfolio is required. Apart from that, pretty much it's a very straightforward process. Only thing the student has to remember is there's going to be an interview, but it's a simple one where we want to assess the student's motivation. It will be like for about 15 minutes. Overall turnaround time to get the offer, including the interview and everything in place, it should be around 4 to 5 working days.
Okay, so is there any criteria for the portfolio? What are the requirements for the portfolio?
Yeah, so for portfolio, like I said, they could be submitting some of the works that they've done in the past. Or if they have not done, but they are someone who's aspiring to get into this line of study, they can work on it now. We can give students some extra time for them to do create the portfolio. And for the portfolio, either they can submit videos. It doesn't have to be an expert level video. We wanna see if the student has the inclination to study this particular program. So even if it is novice level, beginner level, they can do something on their own. Just use their phone camera and record a video. Maybe create a storyline. That's something that we would like to see. If they cannot do a video, we would like to see a photo story from the student. So photo story is something you submit a series of photographs, maybe 5 to 10 photographs, and you create a storyline and you submit a 1-page summary of the story about what this sequence of photographs stand for. Right? Or if the student has done other photography, some editing works in the past, all these things can be counted in as well.
Okay, so I want to ask another question, and that is that what are the key points that make MDH University different and unique from other universities in Germany?
So usually, see, students don't just apply to one school, right? They do their own research. Students are very clever these days. They do their own research. So there are some things that they would definitely be looking at. One is the location. We are located right in the heart of the city, just beside another 2 or 3 schools. In fact, TU Berlin is 5-minute walking distance from our campus. So the whole neighborhood is something that will have a very vibrant student population living there. The area or the neighborhood is developed keeping in mind the requirements of the students who are living in that particular neighborhood. So it's a very accessible, very student-friendly, safe for the students, basically. I think that's one thing the parents of students coming from South Asia are particularly concerned about, right? The safety of their ward. So that's something. Location is a plus point. And about the accreditation that we carry, we are a private university, but we are fully recognized by the federal and the state authorities, which means if you take the quality of education between us and a public university, I would like to assure that it will be on par, right? Both of them. And thirdly, we offer good scholarship for deserving candidates, which will make things easier for students, truly desirous students who want to study a particular program with us. Making it easy financially, that's the kind of help that we can give them. And fourthly, about the industry collaborations that we have. Mario did mention before very rightly about the 6,000 plus industry partners that we have. So this is very important. And especially these are creative courses. So the students will need to get a hands-on experience. And for that, we also have a full internship semester as part of our program, where we also help the student to get an opportunity to enter into certain organizations to work on their internships, projects, part-time jobs, full-time jobs. And currently our employment rate also stands at 93% in general, within 6 months of graduating. So these are some things that we do from our end to the students. And of course, there is a dedicated student services desk who will also be able to help the student with any questions or concerns, any support that they would require in terms of the jobs and other bureaucratic process, even as simple as someone wanting to get their visa converted. And if they want some support to understand how things work, they can reach out to us and we'll be able to support. And the director of, the directors are sitting inside the campus also. So anytime, it's a very friendly environment. In fact, I want to assure you of that too. So anytime student has any question, they can always reach out to the faculty or even go to the director themselves or the campus director, and they can always get their questions answered and get the support that they need.
I've seen the building in the slides. That is amazing. Beautiful building, beautiful campus, I would say. Okay, so I want to ask that what are the benefits of MDH degree, especially for the international students?
Yes, that's what. We are a fully recognized university, and degree as such, the focus is on the creative programs. So there are many options, obviously, for students when they look at studying in Germany, but no school that is recruiting from the international market, they have the mix of courses that we have. These are a niche segment of programs which will prepare you for a job, keeping in mind the current requirements of the job market, and also some of the roles that you can get into are kind of very exciting as well. The VFX artists, and in fact, our students who have done the digital film design, they have either interned or worked in movies like Spider-Man or other Marvel movies, Deadpool, Game of Thrones, Maleficent. Some of these movies that our students have worked on. So this is the kind of preparedness our students get when they finish an academic program with us. And that is what our degree program will be preparing or kind of getting you in for the market.
Okay, and what could be the possible rejection of application of an applicant?
See,
What
we
are the
believe
reasons?
in.
What will be the reasons?
Okay, the reasons could be if the students don't have sufficient academic grades, or if they have, if they don't express their motivation to study while the interview is happening. So these are a couple of things. Maybe if in certain cases the portfolio is not sufficient for those two programs. So these are certain cases, but we also can give the students a second chance. If someone is showing the right motivation, we can give them some extra time to work on these things and come back to us. So the idea is we want to ensure the students get equal opportunity. Sometimes, we understand these are 18, 19 years old. They may not be as prepared, or they may not be expecting an interview environment or of sorts. Okay, so they may be nervous. They may not be able to perform during the interview, but they may be academically good. They may be good on the creative front. They may be having the artistic aptitude. So if someone doesn't perform well, also we can give them a second chance, whereas they come prepared for it and then they crack it. All right. So the rejection rate from the university, I would say it is kept at a very low. Reason is we want to create the opportunity for the students to come into a campus and experience or get the right education that they want.
Okay, so is there anything we're missing out? Is there anything more you want to mention?
So yeah, Mario also mentioned about 3 campuses that we have. I want to just go a little deep into that. The Berlin campus will be teaching the English talk programs, and Munich and Düsseldorf will be teaching in German language. So students who come with German language proficiency can choose the Munich and Düsseldorf campuses. People coming with English language proficiency can choose the Berlin campus. So that's pretty much, I think, I have to cover. I think, Mario, if you have anything to add, you can go ahead.
One more thing, actually, that describes the environment. Jamisha, you've described the environment at the location in Berlin. Thank you very much. And then it makes a sense also to take a look at the international environment. And here we have actually a lot of universities. We are working closely. We are cooperating very closely with an increased number of universities of other countries. I would like to mention the Hunan Normal University in South China. There we have a partner program, actually, double degree program. Then actually we're working very closely together with the Imperial College in London, with Parsons School in New York. Then when it comes to game design, especially with the University of Sao Paulo, which is one of the leading universities worldwide, actually, in the game design section. Now, most recently, actually, we cooperate very intensively with the Whitecliffe University in New Zealand. Yeah. And that's actually an international environment that is always very useful, actually, for the students coming from other countries, and opens actually doors to the international world as well, then, via our university. Thank you so much.
Okay, so is there any other thing you want to mention?
It's okay. I'm done. I don't have anything particularly.
Okay, so
Unless
before-
if you or the students have any questions.
Okay, so I have asked the questions. I think whoever students wants to know, I just ask the questions to you. And I would also like to mention one more thing, that the Ocean One Private Limited has made a video on MDH University. So the interested students can visit our social media pages and watch that video. And I would like to say thank you to both of you for an informative live session. Thank you so much for joining in and for giving so much information about MDH University.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hitesh.
Thank you. Have a good day ahead.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
A good day
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.